So last weekend we had this great plan. We were gonna get our deck sealed, and then we were gonna head out of town for a couple days of R&R with Tom's family. It was a great plan, wasn't it?
Our life always goes as planned.
Exactly.
I'm not sure if yours does, but ours is always like picture perfect.
Perfectly.
Yep.
So last weekend, it started out like any other weekend. We wanted to get the deck sealed before we headed out of town because it needed to like cure for 3 days.
Yeah, 72 hours, yep.
And so we got this great product from Cedarside. It's called Cedar Shield. And what it does is you spray it on, and then the magical part is that for me—
It's super easy, Tom can do it. That's the first magic.
Well, yeah, that was magical. No, the magical part is that it allows you to stain or paint pressure treated lumber
after
3 days.
Yep.
And normally you would wait, what, I don't know,
like
6 to 12 months?
Probably.
What I've heard from others who have used this product and love it and swear by it is that it's foolproof. Like, you don't have to stress too much about—
Even Tom can do it.
Even Tom can do it. You don't have to stress too much about like the exact square footage. And then also, obviously we're not gonna be able to get the underside of the deck. And so what I've heard from others who use this and really like it is you just do the top side and it all works out. So you do what you can.
Even though the directions say do all sides.
Even though that's what the directions say. And you know Tom, he always follows the directions exactly.
For us, you would typically build something out of treated lumber and then the next year stain or paint it.
So the only problem with that, well, there's two problems. One, for the actual deck itself, is that it gets, over that year then, it gets really dirty. Yeah. So then when you go to stain it, you're like trying to pressure wash it to get it clean again before you stain it. And then the other thing is we wanted to do this really cool railing, which we'll show you that, how we put that together too. But I really wanted to paint the boards before we put in the spindles because going back and trying to like paint around all those would have been a nightmare. Yep. So I saw this product from an Instagrammer. Tom loves all these like DIYers that I follow.
Darn you.
Proverbs 31
Actually,
girl.
no, it's fantastic. It's a good product for what we were doing with it. It's exactly what we needed to do.
Thank you. We were on the same page with this, actually. So
no, I wanted to get, so I like finishing projects.
Yeah. Wait,
even
you do?
though it doesn't seem like I do, I love finishing projects. And so to be able to stain this deck right away, put out all of our furniture and umbrella and grill and all that stuff, and just not have to take all that back off again.
Yeah.
That's great news to me.
And we were actually having the problem around the grill too, where it was getting greasy, and so we didn't love that. But some of you, there was a recommendation to get a grill mat too, so after we get the deck stained.
I've never heard of it. I still have yet to look it up, but I'm sure it exists.
But I think we'll look into it because I think that would be awesome. Anyway, so what I wanted to say though was, so I reached out to Cedarside and said, hey, we'd like to try this out. So they sent it to us, and like Tom said, it was super easy to apply. Like, you just sprayed it on.
Right, I even closed my eyes for part of it.
And so, I don't know, to do the whole deck, our deck's not that big, but, and then all the railing wood, I don't know, did it take like a half hour, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
If that.
But it was easy, like actually easy.
You just take the jug and dump it into the little sprayer.
Spray it on.
Yeah, and so that worked great. You don't have to like go back and brush it on or anything.
Nope.
They recommend like 1 gallon jug will do 150 square feet. Or
100 square feet.
100 square feet. If it's thinner, like a fence, you could do this on a fence, deck, any kind of wood, treated or non-treated. Then if it's like a thinner fence, you can get up to 200 square feet with it. We used 2 gallon jugs for our whole deck and then all of the railing material, just to kind of give you an idea.
So the other pro is it's an additional coating to help prevent rot and rodents and critters from wanting to start eating our brand new beautiful deck.
So we're like, hey, we're gonna get this on, then we're going on vacation, it's gonna cure while we're gone, it's gonna be so perfect. And we mentioned, I don't know, did we mention in our camper video or the extra video that we were looking at switching out vehicles again for pulling the camper? Okay, so we have,
I know, right?
We have a whole separate video about why Tom buys and sells so many vehicles and how many we've had, so I will link to that down below so we don't have to recap all of that. So we got a different vehicle to pull our camper. We actually downgraded, like,
a lot, like a
cost-wise.
third, which is cool. We're all about saving money.
I love going that direction.
Yeah.
But it's an excursion. It's a diesel excursion. so that the kids, like the only problem with Tom's truck was that we always
There's
had
a child in between us.
right in the middle.
The only thing we want in between us is a coffee cup.
Yeah, it was so not romantic. And then, but the other thing is, and then the other 3 kids in the back
are super
like,
tight
right
together.
Here. And then they're fighting because they're all sitting in a row.
Yep.
Okay, keep in mind, I understand. This is how I traveled the country growing up, was in my parents' like pickup truck. So I do think kids can get along in the backseat. But anyways, it would make it more enjoyable for everybody.
But I wasn't with them when they did that whole tight-knit traveling. They were good, but I wasn't there. So now that I've been involved, we need more space between us and the kids.
Yep. So we got the deck sealed, we got the camper packed up, we hit the road. We were just heading up to northern Minnesota where Tom's sisters lived, going to a campground there. Super excited, got out the door on time. I mean, things were going really well. Got about an hour down the road and
some guy pulled out in front of us really quick, threw his hazards on, started waving out the window to pull over, and he's like laying on his brakes. I was like, holy cow,
so this
I'm having a tough
like,
time stopping.
Oh, I think something might be wrong. It was like, oh my goodness, pull over.
So we pull over, and then by the time we're slowed way down, we got fluid spraying out from underneath the hood of the truck onto the windshield, smoke everywhere. The radiator had like a 4-inch crack in it. So thank you, sir, for stopping. That was great. He said that it looked like there was like just a hose blowing fluid on the ground underneath me. So we popped a radiator.
So we got up to the next exit to a parts store.
We did not have the radiator in stock for a 15-year-old diesel vehicle, which I didn't expect them to have it. So we bought a bunch of coolant and water, and we let the truck cool down. We filled it back up. Was able to call a different parts store 2 exits south of us, and they were able to order the radiator from another store in the cities, ship it to them 2 hours later.
So all this happens, and what do the kids say? They're like, why does this always happen to us? Because we're having flashbacks to Texas when we were on the side of the road. And I was like, no, 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 no. We will not have this attitude.
All you Toms, knock it off.
And I was like, okay, let's compare this to Texas, shall we? We've got phone service. There was a really nice park by where we were. There was a Culver's close by.
There was a parts store that could get my parts within 2 hours. That was unheard of in Texas. Yeah,
and Tom had all the tools to change it. The only, like, the biggest bummer was we were obviously going to get to where we were going later, and it was 88 degrees, but the heat index actually felt like 99, and then there was like a heat advisory. So the kids and I were fine, but Tom was in this parking lot
hanging over a hot engine, tearing a radiator out.
So it was more of a bummer for him, but I was like, okay, kids, we still have all of our needs met right now. It's a bummer we're gonna get up there late, but we are fine. And so, you know, it always stinks when things like this happen, but the thing I want our kids to learn is that even when things go wrong, like, it's gonna be okay, right? It worked out. Even if Tom didn't know how to fix it, it still would have got fixed, right? Like, it's a bummer that it has to happen, but these things aren't the end of the world. We just focus on the solution and getting back on the road.
Right, and at the end of it, it actually ended up not being that bad of a deal. I mean, outside of the loss in time and having to buy a radiator.
You got it in and out, actually.
I got the radiator out of the thing in 25 minutes. It wasn't it wasn't actually, honestly, repairing something in a parking lot was actually super easy.
So we got back on the road, got up to the campground where we were meeting Tom's sisters, and so it was really fun. So, you know, all campgrounds are different. This one was, it's actually a ski resort up there, so it was a little more commercial. All the campsites are super close together. But then comes with that, they had a ton of fun stuff for the kids to do there, and so they had a really cool little lake that had all this stuff to play in. Your sisters rented a cabin, so then we kind of did all the meals up there in the cabin. It had a super cool view.
Yeah, super cool view from 2 directions.
And there was this really cool, on the hill where you would normally do like snow tubing, for those of you that don't live in cold climates, like, this is what we have to do for fun up here, right? Take a tube down a frozen hill on snow. They also had these tracks set up to take the tubes down the hill. And that was so much fun.
I don't even know what it was. It was like,
what
plastic,
the track was?
Yeah, what the track was, it was like little bitty plastic pins sticking up over the whole grid of the thing, and then inner like air tubes to keep you on the track.
Yeah, like bumpers.
And then you just slid down the thing and you got
flying. And the worst part, I think those little things in the track actually get the tube spinning too, because it was like every time I was about to go down the drop off, I'm like spinning backwards.
You're like going
and
sideways
I'm like, I don't want to go down it backwards. But I don't know, it was super fun and it was scary. Like the first time, like there was two tracks that weren't so bad, and then there was one that everyone's like, oh, that's the fast one. And so
I didn't
the first
actually
time,
even do it.
Yeah, not the fastest one. You
no,
did the
I wouldn't
other
do
one.
it. I was like, no, I'm not doing that.
But it's like the first time is always the scariest because you don't know what to expect. But then you like know, so you're like, all right, I could do that again. And I don't know, I think it's fun to do things like outside of our comfort zone once in a while, just to be like, still got it, can still do it. It's all right.
Oh, Tom went way off. That's awesome.
I didn't throw up, so there.
Didn't throw up, didn't pass out, didn't freak out at the top of the hill. Yep, we're good. Like.
Well, and it's good too because I feel like our kids are fairly reserved at that kind of stuff. They're really cautious, and so to see us do the things too, I think helps them with their confidence level.
Yeah, so they all did it too that were tall enough. Gagey wasn't tall enough,
too little,
but he still went up to the top, so he's like, I want to see everybody go down.
Yeah, so I took him up. He rode the little escalator thing to the top with me and watched everybody start taking off.
So it was really fun, and we were there on a Saturday, Sunday, so then Sunday it wasn't quite so busy, so that worked out really well. So we had a lot of fun. It was good to see your family and hang out with them, and so we were fun. So we came back home well rested, and we didn't sleep at all. We didn't sleep well at all the whole time we were there.
Not at all.
I came back so tired. Diana's like, your voice sounds really tired. I'm like, yeah, I'm tired.
No, we didn't sleep well.
It's okay. The kids had fun. They slept well. So got back home, and then we had all of this stuff to start getting our railing it together. The wood had been treated, so the girls and I started painting it. Okay, this is exciting. Adeline and I are going to start painting. So we're gonna start with the square posts on the deck, and then Tom laid out the railing boards that we get to do too. And then Tom could put the railing together. So do you want to explain how these railings work with these aluminum spindles?
Sure. I'll make it super easy.
Okay.
Screw this in.
Yep.
On both sides, you put the pipe inside, you put the bar on top. Done.
Yeah. So you had drilled the holes before we painted it so that we knew, so you knew where they are. Tom's preference would be to stain the railing.
No white, just stain all of it.
And if it was just about like maintenance and how easy it is to take care of.
Oh, are you getting ready to say that you don't think it would look good? Because
I think it would look good.
I think there's some okay.
No, I think it would look very nice.
Fantastic.
I think it would look beautiful if it were just all stained wood. Everything the same color, even with the black spindles. But I think for the style of our house and what we've done here with the garage, I think the black and white railing is just gonna look good, tie in well, and it's just gonna make it all like kind of like tie together really well. I love it. I think it looks so cool.
We like the black hardware look. Even if I were to stain it and not paint it, still like the black hardware look and the black spindles. So I found these at our local Menards. Actually, I didn't find them at our local Menards. I actually went to 5 different Menards to find it. Got them. And so basically it's just a decorative piece, and it'll help secure the lower and upper rails, help them mount better than just toenailing them in.
Yeah, it should make them really sturdy.
So then these just sit on, and then the top rail kind of sandwiches everything together.
Tom, I'm already seeing how this is gonna look, and I think it looks awesome. Like, this is gonna look so good.
Imagine what it would look like if it was stained.
No, because I'm seeing the black window behind you, the white siding.
My life is just black and white in it.
My heart is so happy. You're gonna be so good at this by the time we're done with this whole deck railing. I feel like this is one of those tasks on like The Amazing Race where it's just like designed to be like incredibly frustrating.
You get one in and
then the other ones pop out. Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah, I could see that.
Really tests your relationship with your partner. That's why I'm just standing back here right now, in case you're wondering. If you're like, Dawn, why aren't you helping
Dawn
Tom?
Helps Tom. Well, there's a reason for that.
Yep.
It's good. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I'm a big advocate for these brackets.
They're cool.
They were what, $5 for two.
Two, yeah.
So I mean, it adds up. But I think as far as like a aesthetic, it really adds, and it helps secure the top and bottom boards to the pole, to the post. So.
Yeah, no, I think they look really nice, and we, you know, it's not a very big deck, so that it wasn't a lot of extra expense. Who's here?
It looks like Gage the cat. All right,
is that what your sign is showing us, that you're a cat? I still, you know, we went back and forth on the railing and what we would do for it, trying to find a lesser expensive route for it, and I just had to like be like, okay, we had like a 2-week vacation planned out to the East Coast this summer that, you know, we didn't get to do, so I'm like, well, let's just think about that, like our vacation money went in, this is the games I have to play with myself.
Railing.
So the money we would have spent on vacation went into the deck and the railing, but I mean, we've been enjoying this so much, it feels like it was a really good investment, and so I'm like, you know, it's okay, like sometimes we do just spend money on things so that we can enjoy them and appreciate them and sit out here. So. And
this year, I don't know if any of you who have been building things have noticed, there's no building materials like anywhere. So apparently all the rest of you are enjoying your new decks too.
Yeah. You had to go to
I went to five different Menards to find enough materials to do what we needed to do.
It was like 10 here, 12 there, like 4 here.
And they're like, you can ship it, but it's probably not going to be there.
Yeah, you know, 2 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, so yeah, I drove all over the place. Yeah,
but it's coming together. So we just have this one section of railing done right now. How long did we say this project was going to take?
I don't know that I said.
I would put that clip.
I didn't say.
You didn't say.
No, didn't say.
Adeline's like, you guys are not starting another project.
That is true. Adeline said to us, how long is this gonna take? And we told her what we think.
What did you think? What's your thought?
Mine?
Yeah.
Okay, what I said was, once the bushes are gone and all the footings are in and done, 2 days. That's what I said.
We're gonna time it.
But remember the prerequisites.
I have all these records now of things you say. So that's where we're at with the deck. So I don't know. I'm not even gonna say by next weekend. Sometime in the upcoming future, we'll have a deck to show you.
I will absolutely tell you, next weekend it will not be completed yet.
Deal.
Well, we gotta do sidewalks and concrete yet too.
Oh, well that part, no, but the railing.
See, I'm calling it completed when that's done.
See, there we go. I like it. No expectations. Expectations gone. So,
yep.
Awesome. Well, we would love to know what you're up to this weekend, and we hope that all your supplies are in stock and that you fly through your project.
And the other thing, are we the only ones that every time you hook your camper up to your vehicle and go somewhere, something happens?
Do you ever get stuck on the side of the road? Yeah, let us know.
Yeah.
So I have to believe we're not alone.
No,
so.
I don't think we are.
All right, well, we hope you have a great weekend. We love you, and we'll visit with you again soon.
Bye-bye.